What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access Entertainment. As always, please hit that subscribe button. It's right down there and it's free. That enables us to keep coming to y'all as often as possible with as many interviews as possible. So please hit that subscribe button, like our content, share, talk about it, be about it, each one, teach one. And we appreciate your support in getting us this far. And if you haven't already, please join. That helps us in so many ways, 3 different tiers. And that just helps me help the good people at Unique Access Entertainment. Now, today for Best Albums, man, we have the honor and the privilege of being joined by Freddie Old Soul. Thanks for coming through.
What's up? My pleasure.
Yes. Very excited. Freddie has selected Kanye West Graduation. Now, this is his 3rd album, came out in 2007. So, Freddie, for you being in Chicago, I imagine loving and listening Kanye up to Graduation as the anticipation and the hype was growing for what was going to be his 3rd album. What were you anticipating? What were you thinking? And what were your feelings and your vibe about Kanye before Graduation came out?
Oh man, I loved Kanye from the very beginning, the minute that I heard Through the Wire. When he put out Late Registration, though, that was really the album that got me hooked, like completely. My favorite track on that album was Late. You know, it was something about it, the sampling and just the music in general, like the words, I'll be late for that. I can't wait for that. I was like hooked on Kanye from Late Registration. And I knew it was going to be crazy when Graduation came out. And that's when Kanye was doing all the different teddy bear things. Like he morphed from like that super Chicago, you know what to expect from him, to dressing crazy and just like doing whatever it is that he wanted to do, and just being just unpredictable. So Graduation, I remember at that time, I couldn't necessarily afford that CD. My mom and, being in between jobs and, just me at that time with my family, they were not going to buy me that album. But I had a best friend that was super spoiled and she got everything she asked for. And so I would always come over her house and I saw that she had the album and I literally like screamed, like, you got the album? Like, please, can I see it? Like, I'm a huge Kanye West fan. Can I please see it? And she let me borrow it, but the sad truth is that I never gave it back to her.
Oh, no. Oops.
Yeah. So just beautiful memories when I think about it. Even just leading up to that album, Kanye was a revolutionary to me in my eyes.
So what ways was Kanye revolutionary leading up to Graduation?
I mean, come on, Jesus walks. Like he would always say things that like so many people want to say, but they won't say it. And even just I would just say just in general, like just the person that he was, that's who I wanted to be as a rapper. And I knew I wanted to be a rapper from a very young age. So when I saw Kanye West just expressing himself unapologetically in general, that was it for me. I was sold.
Okay. Well, to your point, I thought Graduation marked a lot of evolutions for him, one of which was with one of the singles, Can't Tell Me Nothing, because sonically that was extremely different from the first 2 albums. And I thought, especially going from College Dropout and the sound and the feel of that to then come up with a single like Can't Tell Me Nothing. So when you heard that as somebody that was aspiring rapper, and then now that you've, put out so much material yourself, what do you understand or have a better perspective of someone being so popular and putting out something that sounds so different and so stylistically different from what they're known for?
I think it 100% inspires me to go with the evolution of myself, regardless of if it's in or not. And he gave me that boldness, that dare to be just who you are, and that will work for you. It'll also cause many problems, but in Kanye's eyes, it's the good problems. It's the problems that led him to be just the impactful artist that he is. Can't Tell Me Nothing was just like, wait till I get my money right. Like, I'm not rapping about how much I got, or just the facade of everything. Like, nah, like, I'm really making these mistakes out here in this life of being rich and being famous. And I'm just trying to make my mama proud. Like, that was just the energy that he was giving me at that time. It's just the truth, like the hardcore truth that people don't want to embrace. But I'm pretty sure after Kanye said what he said, people was ready to get on that boat.
Yeah. And Graduation starts off with Good Morning and it ends with Good Night, which I always thought was interesting when artists kind of tie in the beginning and the ends of their albums. So for you being such a big fan of his, when you heard that first song and then the last song, Good Morning, Good Night, like, what did that do for you?
Man, okay. So for one, Good Morning will always be like, man, I could really get up to that song and I could really get up in the morning and know that I'm finna go get it. Like, that song just wakes me up in general. So I just thought he was so clever with that. I even also, like, more so than Good Night, it was really the middle of the album that gave me so much life. Like, I would say The Glory was one of my favorite tracks on the album. Just so many bars and just the introduction to the new Kanye that people wasn't ready to embrace in general. I love it. I love the whole embodiment of the project.
Yeah, yeah. And to that point with the difference of it going from Barry Bonds and Drunken Hot Girls, not only having those songs back to back, but you got Lil Wayne on Barry Bonds and Mos Def on Drunken Hot Girls, showing his kind of diversity, and he can work with so many different types of artists.
And that's how that's actually why I relate to him so much. I hate when people say, oh, Freddie, you're a conscious rapper. Like, no, like, I'm a rap about what I see, what I feel, the good, the bad, the ugly, like, and I'm a really embrace all aspects of myself. So on one end, you might see, like Kanye, that Mos Def energy, and then we're gonna switch it to Wayne. You feel me?
Yeah, that was one of the more surprising things that I remember when I first heard the album, because sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't look at if there's who or where the guests are, and those being back to back, like, just shocked me.
Yeah.
And then one thing too about Kanye, of course, like what we were saying with You Can't Tell Me Nothing, it's that self-doubt, but then also we have Champion starts off, or it's the second song on the album, and that's like, yeah, I'm a champion. So for yourself, as somebody that, is aspiring to do things, that is doing things, but then also is striving for much more, when you hear a song like Champion, how does that affect and impact you?
It let me know that people that look like me, that come from where I come from, can manifest their dreams. It also makes me realize that I am highly blessed and highly favored right now. In the situation that I'm in right now, I could find something beautiful in it that has already gave me the answers that I need to unlock the biggest, wildest dreams that are in my mind's eye. A lot of times, like, people use their situations to give reason as to why they're not where they're supposed to be, or people sleeping on me, or all of this crazy, like, super ego, type stuff. I see it as using what I already have to create the life that I wish to manifest. And that's something that Kanye did for me. That's something that Champion did for me, for sure. And I also remember just like being locked in my room playing that song over and over, like as if I'm performing. But this is Kanye's track, but it gave me, it's like a prelude to even how I would be on stage, just hype, unapologetic, and doing what I love. So
Yeah, I hear you.
Mhm.
And then right after that is Stronger, of course. And that one is probably the biggest, if not one of the biggest singles on the album. And that one, like, Can't Tell Me Nothing is very different. The sound, the feel, how it moves and everything. So as a fan too, there's so much diversity sonically on the album. How and why do you think it didn't bother you that he was changing all these lanes all the time musically?
I had faith in Kanye from the beginning. I'm telling you. Um, Again, just knowing that he was willing to say what needed to be said. Now, I can honestly say Stronger was probably, I like the message of the song, but that was probably the one song that I could have done without. And a lot of people would say, what, really? Like, that was one of the major hits. But I think, what song comes after that?
I wonder.
Yeah, it's just like, hurry up, get past Stronger, because I wonder.
Yeah, and then we get I Wonder right into Good Life too, which is another one. And one of the themes with Graduation that I always think about, or I was thinking about a lot as I was listening to the album, is this graduation, like from school, but graduation in life. And like Good Life to me was one of those symbols of it as well. So what did Good Life mean for you?
Good Life was like, I made it. This is a celebration. Um, we can literally come together with our differences, with the things that we relate to, and we can celebrate life. And we could celebrate coming from nothing, where we thought that we wasn't gonna make it, um, into look at who we are now. Um, like, it's just so beautiful to me. Like, and I even want to go back to I Wonder, because we can't skip over I Wonder. Like, because what he say, he was like, on that independent shit, traded off for a husband and some kids. Like, how are you able to tell me my own insecurities? Like, how did you know what my deepest desires were from within me? How do you know, Kanye? It's beautiful. And and we can even get back to Good Life. I love T-Pain. I love T-Pain so much. Um, it was, to me, Good Life was one of the best tracks on the album.
I
Hands
agree.
down.
I agree.
Hands down.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I
Yeah.
like too, like bringing in like the chopped or screwed voice, just having those different little things that they did that showed
Mhm.
showed as Kanye often does, but it's just such a different level and layer of production and bringing in um this optimism and a different way of thinking, which is why I think Kanye resonated at this time in particular with so many people, because he was bringing aspirational stuff, but also self-doubt and also self-belief. It was all that kind of mixed
Mm.
together.
Yeah, like, and he actually, in this album, like, one of the main things he hits is like, you can point it out, whatever it is that's bothering you. And although, like, keeping it to yourself will make you look like how you are perceived to other people, it'll make you look normal, but you won't feel normal. And so it's something about bringing that insecurity out, or bringing what it is that's in there to the forefront, where it can actually work for you versus working against you. And and it's like Graduation in general. Like, I just, late registration. I didn't think that I was gonna make it. But now we here, we graduating.
Yeah, for sure. And another big song, of course, on there is Flashing Lights. And that's another crazy one, especially sonically, that has so much going on with it. And as an artist, when you're hearing all these different sounds and styles and feels of the songs, like how does that affect you from a fan, but also an artist perspective?
Man, I know it's been a while, sweetheart. We hardly talk. I was doing my thing. Like the best thing about it is that you can say so many things without saying it. Like a lot of people rap about rapping and they put too many words in it to describe this feeling when only sometimes you only need just a few words that will give you an entire visual and feeling to match, you know? And that's something that I strive to achieve in my music. Say a lot without saying it, you know? That's what makes you clever. And that's what made Kanye clever in my eyes, because he didn't have to overly do it. He didn't have to overly talk. He said the words that meant the most. And so the most important. So for me as an artist, that's something that I strive to do. That's something that lets me know that I'm headed to the next level, because, you know, I can, it's more than just a metaphor. It's like the words that hit home. That's something that he really mastered, and it pushed me to be that type of artist.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course toward the end of the album you got The Glory and Homecoming back to back too. And one of the things that amazes me about that, as through all of Graduation, but as we get on a lot of the great albums, is that as you get to the end of the album, for a lot of people, that's where the album kind of is too long, or there's too much, or man, they could have lost those 4 or 5 songs and it wouldn't matter,
Mhm.
but not on Graduation. So at the end, as you're hearing The Glory, as you're hearing Homecoming, as you're hearing Big Brother, like what was that vibe like for you?
Yeah, because Big Brother was kind of like pulling it towards the end, like shout out to the one that even gave me a chance in the first place. Um, but yeah, no, it never got boring to me. It never hit its peak, like you said. Like most times people would be like, okay, that's it. But once you hit the glory, it's like, nah, he still got more to say. And the glory taught me to be outrageous, to be ridiculous, to be like, are you serious? Like, yeah, I am. It taught me to be that type of person. And then just for him to give that shout out, his relationship with Jay-Z, though I wish it was more, evident right now, but just in the past, when his relationship with Jay-Z in general was, I was full of admiration just looking at it, because man, it just lets you know, like sometimes you just one person away from somebody that just really believe in you, that can take you to the next level. So I thought that was just amazing for Kanye to just shout out Jay-Z like that. And then how the tables turn, like, because you gave me this chance and now this is the person that I'm becoming. And now I'm opening up doors for you. Like it was beautiful. I loved it. And Homecoming, I loved Homecoming as well. Like, Kanye, I hope you see this, dog, because I'm trying to be like you for real.
So what ways are you trying to be like Kanye, would you say?
I want to be outrageous. I want to cause hysteria. I want to break the internet. I want people to be like, man, like, did you see what she just said? Why did she say that? Well, it's some truth to it. And it's the truth that people don't want to acknowledge and see for themselves. A lot of times people like to live in the illusion. And a lot of people like to be hurt. They like to be like, you hurt me, and this is why you hurt me. But a lot of people fail to see the beauty that exists within just, what am I trying to say? The beauty that exists between being so honest and real with yourself, where it's like, man, I actually caused this to happen, or wow, I'm in a victim mindset. I'm actually hindering my growth. It's not the people outside of me. It's not these things. And then also just the media in general. I feel like Kanye has always fought between like telling people the truth and giving out that message, but then also how media wants him to be portrayed. And to me, I feel like, regardless of what people got to say, I feel like for him to be as big as he is and influential as he is, he's done an amazing job at merging those two worlds together to give people the truth.
I'm with you 100% on that. So that being said, as you look back, what would you say is the legacy of Graduation, where it stands in rap, and why it's one of your best albums?
It was the last album of Kanye just giving us the raps the way he did. Like, I do believe Graduation is where it was like, all right, after this, I'm going to switch it to something you really never even thought existed. And then that's when people say, oh, I want the old Kanye back. Like, Graduation is where they stop and they be like, I wish Kanye was like this again. But the beauty of evolution, you can't control it. And whatever I go through and however I articulate my art is how it's going to come out. So him being unafraid to do that and go into 808s and heartbreaks, I mean, it tells a beautiful story of Chicago and how we are more than just like our environment,
Yeah. Well, there it is. Well, Freddie Old Soul, thanks so much for coming through the best albums. Really appreciate it.
Yes, my pleasure.